Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Lisa Oligas. In this edition, we go inside the Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, which opened in the fall of 2022 after more than 10 years of planning. We'll talk with those involved in getting the complex constructed, as well as those organizations making it their home, Connect to Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts. We begin our conversation with the president of the board of directors, Sharon Bishore, and treasurer Clifford Word. Thank you both for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for including us.
This is an exciting time. You have a very beautiful, beautiful building. How does it feel to now be there, be in it with it, open and up and running?
Well, you know, a dream has come true for us, and it's been a long process, but well worth it. We took a lot of time to think about what was going to be in the complex and make the changes so that we could make it very effective and you know, a lot of different uses.
Right. It's 37,000 square feet
yes.
building, so take us through the building floor by floor. And we have the Bishore Performance Hall, so tell us a little bit about that.
Oh. Well, we wanted to make it seating for audiences, for performances, but we also wanted it to be multifunctional so that we could have a flat floor. We wanted, as Clifford always says, excellent audio visual, so that the performances would really, you know, stand out. And what we found so far is the sound and the lighting is just fantastic. And we're learning a lot still about that.
There was a beautiful grand piano there. It's lovely.
Yes.
So, I mean, music concerts are part of the agenda as well.
We've had the piano played several times. 1949, restored. And it is supposed to, you know, by the experts, it's just a fantastic piano, and the pianists love it.
Yes, sounds
so we're
beautiful
in, you know, so yeah, piano's going to be an important part, and even the jazz performances, they've used the piano too. So anyway, we're just trying to do everything we can to make it just a quality, top of the arts, all the arts facility.
So also on the first floor, the lobby, the grand entryway. Clifford, tell us about that. And it's almost art in itself when you see the lighting in the lobby.
Very much so. The Freeman Health System grand lobby that also has the 3 digital screens that we can present all of the information on both the performance side and the visual arts side. It can be readily seen through the windows, then from 7th Street to go along with our wonderful 11-foot by 6-foot wide marquee sign at 7th and Joplin that we can, again, let people and patrons know of all of the activities, whether it is performance or visual that is happening. And then you have the sculptures that are out there in front, and if you drive by at night and you see the shadows there upon the side of the building, I mean, it is an extraordinary building and asset that really brings the cultural aspects of Joplin alive. So,
certainly, and it does certainly brighten up downtown. I mean, you're right. It's well lit. It's beautiful. It's kind of its art unto itself on the building itself. So, what do you hope that it does for downtown?
Oh,
and the community?
Well, of course, we hope the economic development is excellent. I think the retailers and the restaurants are just very excited about what it can do for economic development, and that means actually, you know, having new businesses moving downtown, because that's often what does happen when you have a new arts center opening up.
Tell us about the namesake, because, I mean, we're going to talk to Spiva a little bit, but there is actually a permanent exhibit that is the Cornell collection. Can you tell me a little bit about that, Clifford? No?
Well, from the standpoint of the namesake of Harry M. Cornell Jr. being the past president, CEO of Leggett and Platt Incorporated, and what he did as an individual and taking that entity from a private ownership to a public ownership to the corporation that is worldwide is just amazing. But you know, the philanthropic legacy that has been left by Mr. Cornell is just one of amazement. Of course, Sharon being a daughter of Mr. Cornell, it's a family. They are a family that that knows and loves Joplin, and by these legacy investments are making Joplin a better place for people of all ages, of all spectrums, of just all backgrounds, and it's just going to be a huge impactor for the downtown, but also for our community.
Many of the sections of the complex have names from donors. Is ongoing support important for the complex, and how do we go about getting that?
Actually, we're still raising monies for the complex because we have some plans in the future to add an outdoor stage cover and concessions, as well as probably some other things that we need inside the complex. But as far as sustainability, there was a CLUT set up so that, and Clifford can speak more to that, that will help with the sustainability. So most of the monies we are hoping to raise are for Connect to Culture at this time and SPIVA, because we've had the complex, which is, the whole purpose of our board was to create the building, and then we lease it to Connect to Culture and SPIVA. But I wanted to remark on the permanent collection briefly, but I think Heather will be able to say something about that. But it is it is named after Harry M. Cornell Jr. Because he had a collection that he'll be donating, but also because it was important, he thought, to have a permanent collection, which we already had. And Mr. Cornell is going to be donating a number, probably 150 pieces that will be going in to the permanent collection. But it won't be just his collection, it'll be rotating all the time.
Right.
So it opened with his collection.
So there's a couple more elements of the building that I like to talk about, and I know Spiva could talk about this, but there is an educational area. Why was that important to make that part of this complex, to have places where classes can happen?
Well, arts is for everyone, whether it's visual or whether it's performance. And education is going to happen in that entire building, whether it is visual in the third floor arts classrooms that SPIVA has, or whether it's going to be education in the Beashore Performance Hall. As we we will be bringing the fourth graders in for theater, and eighth graders, and again, Emily will be speaking more about that. But hosting the Joplin Piano Teachers Association and their students playing on that magnificent grand piano, and education is going to take place throughout that entire facility, and even in the outdoors. When we get people on that outdoor stage and 1,500 capacity, the whole building is designed for not only entertainment, but for enlightenment, for people just to come, and young people especially, to say, hey, I can be on that stage one day. I can be doing that one day. I can be drawing that one day. I can have my art on display one day. That is going to be what this building is going to do for legacy purposes, for years and years and years to come.
Excellent.
I think the access that it's going to create for these kind of performances and visual arts and educational programming is what we really love about it. It's for everyone, as Clifford said.
It's a wonderful space. Thank you both for sharing your part of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll visit with Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture. As we go to break, here's a look at the upcoming season's schedule of shows.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be a wonderful wife. A truth evident in every stretch of Britain, not excluding Longbourn, where my family resides.
10,000 miles, my own true love. 10,000 miles or more, and the rocks may melt.
Your chart says you suffer from some severe abandonment issues. Do you mind telling me how that all started?
When I was a child, my mom left me at a very young age, and so I never really got over that.
Dr. Corsello, can we see you at the front desk, please?
Absolutely.
When I meet the wizard, once I prove my worth, and then I meet the wizard, what I've waited for since. And with all his wizard wisdom.
Blessed be the feet walking on sacred ground. Blessed be the sunshine. Blessed be the cloud foundation. We nourish the spirit to strengthen the roots, the stronger.
Come on, baby, let's go. Oh, come on, baby, let's go. If you treat me right, I will swing all night. Baby, don't you tear my clothes.
We will play for you 6 rounds, and you will decide about the winner tonight here.
I fell apart in the middle of the month. On the 15th day, my roots came up. They play this song right on key. They play this song. It's called Jamboree. Jamboree. 2, 3, 4. She was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looks was way beyond romance.
Welcome back. Connect to Culture came into existence in part because of the desire to have an arts and entertainment complex. C2C is an arts agency and nonprofit organization founded in 2009 with a mission to ignite a passion for the arts, culture, and entertainment. Joining us now is C2C's Executive Director, Emily Frankowski. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
This has got to be an exciting time for you to finally have a permanent home.
Yes, it is. I was just, kind of thinking back on it, and it's really like, I've invested over, actually almost 10 years to helping this come to fruition, starting when Connect to Culture just started to be a nonprofit, and really helping develop all that it has become. And it's just kind of like closing a chapter with the building being up and busy with activity, and now we're moving on to a next chapter of more growth.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, because I know you were very involved in all of it. So what does this mean for you now to have this? I mean, you were kind of a little bit of a nomad for a while. Oh, we had a show here, a show there. Having this permanent space, how does it impact your programming, what you can offer?
It means the sky's the limit. It means that, normally we have 4 to 6 shows maybe in a season. This season we have 18 shows. Wow. So right there you can just see the growth. We used to just have one series called the Curtains Up series, which was, it's still in existence, but it's grown. Now it has 8 performances. It's full of all types of entertainment. And then we've added 2 new series. We've got the Cornell series, which focuses on supporting local and regional artists. And then another series called the Ignite series, which is really kind of working in on our mission to ignite a passion for the arts, culture, and entertainment, but more in students and kids and their families, so more family entertainment. We're really excited about that as well. We even have a Corley Spotlight performance this year that's a free piano performance. So we're adding all types of entertainment. It's going to be a busy season ahead.
There are 365 days a year. You might be able to fill it all pretty soon.
Exactly, yes.
That'll keep you pretty busy. So talk about the options and the variety of spaces you have, because there's indoor, there's outdoor.
Yes.
You know, tell us about.
It's so flexible. We can do, you know, it was so nice for our last performance. Usually, like you said, we were arts nomads. And, you know, after we were done with a performance, we'd have to pack everything up, take it to the office. Last time we just left it. And we were like, oh, that's so nice. But yes, you're right. We have we have a lot of different venue opportunities. In our B-Shore Performance Hall, that's Connect Culture's home theater, and it's an indoor theater with around 400 to 25 seats, depending on what our seating configuration is. And that is going to be our indoor performance space. And then we have the Leggett and Platt Green, which is outdoor performance space, which can seat 1,500 or so. And so we've got a lot of options. We even have, you know, places throughout the building. Like whenever we had the opening and we were partnering with Spiva and the Cornell complex, we had musicians all over. We had them in the galleries, we had them in the rooftop terrace. There's so much going on.
Tell us about the rooftop terrace. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yes, it's the Crossland Rooftop Terrace venue is another space. It's amazing because you get to see really great views of downtown Joplin, and you could probably have quite a large party in there if you wanted to. There's a lot of spaces for rent, you know, for birthday parties, for receptions, retirement parties, things like that. Also, we could have small performances up there, but you can really take a look over the green, see Memorial Hall. You can see the elevation of 7th Street, which you never would have thought before. But it's really nice to have a entertainment venue in downtown Joplin where you can have those rooftop views. It's really magical.
And a special lighting for outdoors.
Yes, there's these really amazing special LED lights that we haven't quite gotten full control over yet, but we did test them out during the opening, and it kind of invokes that party atmosphere.
What reactions are you getting? Because you're there pretty much on a daily basis. When people come in, I saw when I visited there the other day, a woman taking someone else on a tour. Oh, you've got to see this.
Yes.
What are you getting as feedback?
Oh man, I just think that people are amazed. They think they've been transported into a larger city, you know, and Joplin's so poised for growth with, especially in the arts and cultural realm. A lot of times, you know, if it's the Connect Culture staff or the Spiva staff that take turns sitting at the welcome desk, the last time I did, it really just touched me when someone that came next to me was like, I'm just so proud of Joplin. I'm so proud that we have something here that is an intentional space that, you know, just remarks on the relevance of arts and culture for our city. So that was really special.
Now downstairs in the lobby, there's a little bit of a gift shop. Who is that for?
Yeah, Spiva has a great gift shop. It's full of local artwork. And so any given time you can come in and buy a piece for a birthday present. So many people were buying Christmas gifts, things like that. So it's a really great addition.
Let's talk about the upcoming season. Are there certain shows you would like to highlight?
Yes.
Talk to us. I mean, go down the list.
So you got to come to the complex and pick up one of these because it includes all of the different shows. Coming up in February, Pride and Prejudice, which I'm really excited about because it's kind of our first theatrical show that we've ever put together, like a straight theatrical show.
And is it one performance?
It's one performance, but that kind of touches on something else. Because we have this venue, we can have multi-day performances like Jessica Vosk, who's coming up in March. She is actually one of the first Elphabas on Broadway.
Excellent.
And so she's going to be having a 2-day, you know, one show on, I think, a Saturday and then another matinee on a Sunday. So that kind of opens up an entire new realm for us as well.
So what's the easiest way for folks to check your schedule? Do you have a way online and in person?
Yeah, so just come on down to the complex, pick this up, or talk to someone who's working at the welcome desk, or you can just go to connecttoculture.org and visit all of the performances. You can look at each series and see what's coming up, or all performances all together, and then from there you can easily buy tickets and learn more.
All right, thanks Emily Frankowski. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Cornell Complex has a permanent resident with the Spiva Center for the Arts. When we come back, we'll visit with Spiva's Executive Director, Heather Lesmeister. But first, we talk with an artist invited to get her take on this new and exciting space.
The hum of a compressor puts a wall in motion, one of the unique architectural aspects offered to the Spiva Center for the Arts at the Cornell Complex.
By a movable wall, you can make something smaller around it, or you can open the space up. You can make something more intimate, so just dividing and moving things around.
That's artist Holly Wilson. She worked with Sean Conroy of the Spiva Center for the Arts to mount her current exhibit. For Wilson, it's more than art.
Storyteller is what I like to tell people, because for me it's not material, it's message. So whatever the story or the message is that I'm trying to convey, I then choose material that works best for that.
Wilson says the ability to transform the room, moving walls, is wonderful, and she's excited to display in the new complex.
It's a beautiful space. It's amazing. Tall walls, great lights, movable walls, neutral floor, all the good things and all the bells and whistles. So it's a wonderful space. And big walls, because a lot of what I do has to do with a lot of tiny things assembled, and they need to be able to go directly in a wall. So if you have a wall that's more precious, where you can't make holes in it, it's really hard to work with, and most of the time I can't. And then the larger means things can actually expand to a full size. So some of my pieces, though they're made up of things that are only maybe an inch or two big, will become 12 to 14 foot.
On display now is one of her trademark style pieces, which is constructed of many mini sculptures, each individual and slightly different. The creation inspired by the search for a box of 24 crayons during a move to a new school.
But it was the conversation that my kids were having about the friends they had at their old school they were going to miss, and wondering what the new school was going to be like. They never said, oh well, she was the black girl or the Asian girl or the Native girl. It was always, he was the boy who used to help us open catch-ups and tell us funny stories. It's called A View from Within, Under the Skin. 24 colors, so they are every color in a box of crayons. And I feel like if our society took more lessons from our children, we would be a kinder people.
Welcome back. The Spiva Center for the Arts makes its permanent home now in the Cornell complex. Joining us for this conversation is the Executive Director, Heather Lesmeister. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What an exciting time.
Oh my goodness.
The Spiva Center for the Arts.
Absolutely. It has been phenomenal to be able to come to this new home. This is our 4th home that we've had, and every time it's been bigger and better. So the collaboration between the two organizations has set the stage for great synergy in the community.
So space is the big thing here. I mean, you've got more space. Tell us about the different galleries you have and what the options are for that.
So now in the Cosgrove, before we only had 3 galleries, now we have 4 with the addition of the permanent collection gallery. And as Sharon and Clifford were talking about earlier, that space allows us to rotate out our permanent collection that we have on site. So we have close to 300 pieces in our current collection now. We are now actively accepting additional donations as well. So moving to this space has allowed us to do that. We also have a bigger storage space for our permanent collection when it's not being displayed. So that's fantastic. Also in the galleries, that opens up spaces. We have these amazing movable walls.
Which, yes, we talked about, Holly Wilson talked about loving that as an artist.
Oh my gracious, it can really transform those spaces. So our Fort States Gallery and then the Freeman Health System main gallery, it allows us to promote galleries with inside galleries. So we can make these personal, really intimate spaces. We can open up it wide if we need to, and it really allows the art to shine. It really, and then we have our reserve gallery named after Joe Mueller, who is a very, very special person to Spiva.
You bet. So talk to us about other benefits of the complex. You mentioned air quality for one, because it's new.
It is. So in those spaces, both in the galleries and then in our collection storage and also the piano storage, we have humidity controls and air quality controls. So that allows us to bring in state-of-the-art type exhibits, ones that we beat just about anybody around. So we can have all of those, and that will increase the access of art to be able to come to our community.
And, national tours of art. Is this open the door for you to have other artists, and are you going to be courting that idea?
100%. That's now that we're in the building and we're trying to figure out where our exhibits lie, trying to book those out years in advance, taking a look at some of those nationally touring exhibits and being able to bring them to Joplin, and being able to provide a space for our regional and local artists, and just bringing those together. It's going to be a win for everybody.
And you have the Thomas Hart Benton collection. I mean, it's more complete than ever before, seen in one place. How proud of you of that?
You know, that was a wonderful collaboration with Cleo Copeland, Gingy Lass, who works at Missouri Southern here. She is on the State Historical Society's board. Bringing that together and being able to showcase all 91 of those Thomas Hart Benton lithographs, like you said, it is the first time they have been ever showed anywhere together before. And that is just wonderful to kick off what we can do at the Cornell complex.
Kind of a coup.
Very much so.
Yeah. So we showed the moving walls, and that does expand your options by doing that?
Oh, certainly. It allows us to be able to reconfigure the gallery so we can have more space.
How often then do you consider changing displays or adding to and rearranging?
Our exhibit cycles sometimes run a month to a month and a half, depending on the exhibit that's up. Thomas Hart Benton is a little bit of a anomaly. We left it up for 2 exhibition cycles because we wanted it to be up. In the spring, we have our 3rd grade visits, and they come through. So they'll be able to see Holly Wilson's work along with Thomas Hart Benton, and we feel that's really of great educational value to them.
Talking about kids and education, you have a space for kids to take classes. Why is that important to keep that with SPIVA? I mean, it's been a tradition already, but can you expand and do more here even?
We sure can. I think education and art go hand in hand, and starting that as early as we can, it opens those expressive creative avenues for children, and then they can continue to take classes because not only do we have them for kids, we have them for adults. And then we also do a lot of art outreach. So we have people both come into our place, and then we go out and reach out to organizations like The Rock and do creative education with.
So all of your classes take place on the 3rd floor?
That is correct. We have our classroom spaces up there. It's 2 classrooms that are divided and can be either one big space, or it can be divided by a whiteboard divider, which is phenomenal to be able to have that access. All of our tables are whiteboards, so it gives us, again, more clever and thoughtful, expansive spaces that are very flexible in all kinds of nature. Along with the classrooms on the 3rd floor is our organizational offices. So that's mostly what takes place up there.
Excellent. So, and then we mentioned before, there's a gift shop. How is that nice for local artists and the artists who are part of the complex?
We love to be able to shine a light on our artists and be able to support them, not only in their artistic endeavors, but this allows them to get their name out more, and they get a lot of proceeds from the sales there. So you can buy artist gifts. If you don't find something that you like that time, we always have new things coming in, and you can buy a gift certificate.
That's the way to go.
Yes.
Always. All right, well, Heather Lessmeister, thank you. What would you say to someone who hasn't seen the complex?
Why haven't you seen it yet? Come out and see us. We want it to make it a warm, welcoming place for everybody in the community.
Just come visit.
Come visit us.
All right. Thanks, Heather Lessmeister, for being here. Well, that concludes this edition of Newsmakers. Thank you for watching. I'm Lisa Allegas.